Week 2, beat the odds. This is the betting recap show. Michael Merlo, Beau Dragon here with you. Please excuse the records on the bottom of the screen here. Those are not correct. I had an absolutely awful week. Beau, what was your record this week?
2-1. I got 5 points. I hit my 2 and 3. Yeah.
He had the week I had last week. So Beau with a big week to take the lead. I'm still sick over what had happened in a couple of those games, and we are going to discuss that. We're going to discuss the Giants-Cowboys game, the Chiefs-Eagles game, and a terrible Sunday Night Football game, along with giving you picks for the 2 Monday night games, which I actually have very strong feelings in both, so I'm very excited about that. You have a game tonight, correct?
I have a game tonight?
Oh, no, I thought you had the Raiders. Why did I think you had the Raiders?
Oh, in my picks. No, I had the Raiders last week at 2.5 plus.
Yes, okay.
That was a hit, by the
Raiders
way.
tonight. I know that was. That was a good pick.
Big hit.
I thought you had the Raiders tonight. That's my bad. Okay.
I don't.
We will start with I will start with one of my games that I lost. I went 0-3. I had Jags plus the 3.5. I had the Cowboys minus the 4.5. That's what you get for betting against your own team. And I had the Jets plus the 6.5. It went down to 5.5. So I got lucky with the number we got on Thursday. But can we start with this Jags game? Because I have no clue what happened here. Like, I have no clue what went on. They're winning basically the entire game. There's no really big lead, but they're in control. Obviously, Burrow's out of the game. It's Jake Browning. And for them to lose this football game, not cover the spread and lose this football game was an embarrassment. And I'm completely out on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm out on the Jags. I was out on the Jags going into the season. I like them in this game. I like them to win, but not because of the reasons that I had going into the season. I will say this Jags-Bengals team, I think Joe Burrow going out with turf toe won them this game. And that's not because Jake Browning had the perfect game, because he threw in 3 interceptions, but the Jags game plan was completely messed up. After you prepare for one of the MVP type players in Joe Burrow, now you have to go prepare for Jake Browning. It's like, dude, that's completely different worlds. This Jags defense is good, though. I think they have a really good defense. I think they had like 11 pass deflections or pass breakups, which is insane. So that's really good for them. They had a good D-line game, but they still lost this game somehow. And I'm with you on that. I really don't know how this happened. And they didn't cover, which sucks for both of us because we both took them at plus 3.5. They lost by 4.
That's right. That was your 1-point pick, right?
They get it right all the time. Like, I don't get it.
And we couldn't even have the extra point missed. Nothing. We can't just go to overtime and see what happens. They're at the 1 with 50 seconds left, and they're draining the clock to get a last-second touchdown, which they were able to do to win the game. The Bengals go on to win. Joe Burrow is going to be out at least 3 months, maybe longer, according to some people on Twitter doctors, saying that if he has the turf toe surgery, he is going to miss more than 3 months. It's probably a season ender. And from what I've read this morning, he is going to have it. So basically, we've seen the end of Joe Burrow this season. And it does raise the questions. He's been so banged up in his career. Like, can you ever trust this guy again? And would you regret giving him the contract they gave him if you were the Cincinnati Bengals?
I wouldn't regret it, and I still trust him. I still trust Joe Burrow, and I don't regret the contract that they gave him because he is still that guy. That O-line has been awful every single year since he has gotten drafted to this team. I saw the ranks this morning. Don't have them right now, but they were 28th or lower in offensive line pass block and pass grade every single year they've had Joe Burrow. So it's not his fault. Yes, sometimes you have bad O-lines. Quarterbacks can make it happen. I don't think that matters as much because you watch the beginning of this game I was watching it on Red Zone, and every single play he's scrambling. Every single play because he has no blocks. He doesn't have time in the pocket, which if you have deep threats like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, you need time in the pocket. You can't throw the ball 70 yards in the air just to give him time if it's only going 20 yards downfield. So they're screwing him. I don't know. Like the Giants had the same problem, right? The Giants had the same problem. Even the Jets had the same problem. But they went out and got pieces. They drafted pieces. That was the main focus of their drafts and their offseason additions. Giants not so much this past year, but the year before they added like 3 or 4 players. So the Bengals not doing this is just complete negligence. How do you not protect your quarterback, especially when he's Joe Burrow, especially when you have a chance of going to the playoffs? But still, Mike, they're 2-0.
Yeah, no, they didn't add anybody this offseason. They didn't add big time offensive line pieces. I don't think they even drafted one in this past draft. It is complete negligence. I don't know how they get away with it. I'll never forget. And as good as Jamar Chase is, I was a proponent of them taking Penny Sewell at the time over Jamar Chase. I argued that for a very long time. And when you look at the injuries that Joe Burrow has suffered, it makes you think if he didn't have Chase, but he had the stud left tackle or right tackle, wherever you want to put Sewell, what would it look different? What would look different about this guy's career? I think he'd still be a great quarterback. I think he'd be just a little bit healthier, which would be a big plus. The Jets got blown out by the Bills. I had the Jets yesterday, plus the 6.5. They had no chance. Justin Fields may have played the worst game a quarterback has ever played ever, and the Jets get steamrolled by the Bills with Josh Allen not really doing much in this game, which was the scary part about the way the game went down.
Yeah, starting off, this game looked fairly okay for the spread. You had him at 6.5, so that's pretty nice. 5.5. Dude, a lot of the money was on the Jets this game. And I was with you on that. I think I said last episode that I was just too scared to put it as one of my expert picks.
Yeah.
But I really liked them. I put them in one of my pick'em pools. They sucked. I mean, they came back down to earth. Finally, Justin Fields had the game that we thought he was going to have. He sucked. He was terrible.
Yeah.
Last game was a fluke. That was not supposed to happen. This Bills team is way too good to lose to the Jets, especially to let the Jets cover. But as we said, and I think the world saw, we saw the Jets, everything leading to the Jets covering this game, and they got blown out 30-10 in MetLife. So disappointing for the Jets, but that's how it's supposed to be. So is it really that disappointing? I don't know. Good for the Bills, though.
And disappointing to me, the Bills have not come to MetLife Stadium lately and played well. This is the first time in a while they've come there and really blown the Jets out. And for Aaron Glenn, he's got to be looking in the mirror and saying, what the hell is going on with my defense? This was supposed to be the strength of this team, and they've given up 30-plus points in the first 2 games of the season. The Jets are in Tampa Bay next week, take on the Buccaneers, their first road game, and that'll be a real test as well, against another really good offense. Give me a couple of your wins there. Who did you hit yesterday before we get to my big loss in the Cowboys-Giants game?
Yeah, so I hit my 2-point and my 3-point. I had the Seahawks +3. They outright won, which I said was going to happen, so that's great for that. And then I had Eagles -1.5 for my 3-point, which, to be honest, dude, like that was the easiest pick of the week. Eagles -1.5. I think it was 2.5 when the game started. Eagles -2.5, but they still covered that. And I mean, that was one of the worst games we've ever seen offensively for both of these teams. I don't think we've seen a worse game. And I mean, the Eagles won just because the Chiefs were that much worse. A lot of beef between these teams. They've played each other 2 times out of the last 3 games. Chiefs have now lost 3 in a row, which is, I think, the first time ever Mahomes has lost 3 in a row.
Yeah.
As part of the Chiefs. And then we'll talk about this next week, but they're playing the Giants Sunday night in MetLife home opener. Giants are winning that game. But that's a topic for Thursday we'll talk about. But yeah, Eagles -1.5, which I still don't know how they won that. Also, the Chiefs had a touchdown chance. So Travis Kelce, like, he caught the ball, it popped out, and then
Kelce fumbled, basically. He fumbled the ball.
That's crazy. So it's safe to say their magic's dead. Their voodoo magic is dead. And thank God, because all NFL fans don't want the voodoo magic working for them. Now the Chiefs are 0-2. So it's a great sight to see. I love it. I love it,
Yeah.
man.
By the way, the Giants are 5.5 point dogs at home next week to the Chiefs. So I don't think they're winning the game, but I think it could be close. But either
No.
way,
They're winning the game. They're winning the game.
we'll discuss that next week. Either way, when you look at what this game was, it was the Eagles defense stepping up. It was the Eagles offense doing enough, and it was the Chiefs offense not doing enough in this game. That both offenses stunk. It was a real snooze fest. And I really like the Eagles. I actually ended up not betting them. I bet your Hawks, though, and I had the Hawks straight and on the money line as well with the spread and on the money line. I loved the Hawks yesterday. They should, I loved all of your picks. I actually loved your 3 picks. And if I could have made my 3 picks, those 3 picks, I probably would have done it. I took the Jags. I mean, I had the Seahawks or the Eagles in it. And then when you told me what one of them was, I said, all right, I'll switch that one out for something. But I wasn't switching out the Jaguars.
Yeah.
But I had to move the Jaguars up. That was the tough part about it. So
Right.
it
We
is
both
what
got the Jags.
we both
I will
got.
say we're getting comments right now from your boy, Luke Cottogio. Is it time to trade Dart and build around Russ? Rage bait. Also, when can we get more Tyrone Tracy involved? He's the most talented runner on the football team. That's also funny. Yeah, the Giants had an amazing performance from Russ this weekend.
And we can go to this game now.
Yards. Yeah, 450 yards from Russ. 3 touchdowns. Interception at the end killed it a little bit. I think his passer rating was like 152 when I checked right before that interception, which is near perfect. 158.3 is perfect. Devin Singletary started, and then Tracy came in for a little bit, and then Scatterboo had the rest of the game. And he had a pretty good game. Dude, I mean, this is one of the most insane games I've watched, but also one of the most insane Giants games I've watched. We haven't seen the Giants put up more than 30 points, more than like 2 times in the past 3 or 4 years, probably. At least that's what it feels like. And then they go ahead and put 37 up in Jerry's World in Dallas. Insane game. They should have won it. They also should have lost it. But going up by 3 with 15 seconds left, you should win that. They made the play to win it. They just did it with a little too much time left.
You got to win that game no matter what. There wasn't too much time left, even though it ended up being too much time. The defense let up an easy completion over the middle of the field. It sucks. It sucks because they haven't played a game like that in a while, and you haven't seen them look that efficient, on offense with Wan'Dale Robinson, with Malik Neighbors. Robinson had a game. They didn't run the ball well, but they had the offensive performance in this passing game was truly incredible. But you can't take a moral victory from this game because when all this regime and this coaching staff has done is lose, how could you feel good about it? Because they just know how to lose games and they don't know how to finish them. And that is a big issue I've had over the past few years. And it comes back to bite them in the ass on Sunday. In terms of building around Dart, around Russ, I'm a Russ guy. We're not doing that. And listen, when you draft Tyrone Tracy in fantasy football and you don't go ahead and draft Cam Scatterboo, you just show how much ball you know. Sorry. Anyway, as we move on, the Giants defense was terrible yesterday. Shane Bowen, one of the worst defensive coordinators in the entire league. I don't really have much to say on that. They got pressure. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
Yeah, their run defense wasn't terrible, I thought. They just couldn't tackle.
I really didn't. That's the issue, though. That's the issue they have. They can't tackle.
Yeah, they let Javonte get so many yards after contact. I think there were 3 or 4 big plays from him.
Even Sanders, too.
Yeah, Sanders, too. Yeah. They should wrap him up. Those were first downs in every one of those plays. And that's when your defense is supposed to get a stop. Their run defense, besides that, stuffing everybody at the line. It was awesome. Deonte Banks, dude's a meathead. I mean, I don't know what's going on in his head. He shouldn't be on the team. I love Cordell Flott and I love Drew Phillips. That's enough. Deonte Banks has to go. Shane Bowen's got to go too. I liked him when he came in just because of his blitz rate that he had with the Titans. And I don't know if you really can need a coordinator right now based on blitz rate when you have the Giants defensive line. Some positives. Abdul Carter played a lot of snaps. That's really good. Brian Burns had another great game. Kayvon had a sack. finally. He got hurt a little bit. I don't know what happened. They didn't say. But yeah, I mean, this is a crazy game. And Mike, before we move on, I just want to go over our 2-minute drill and our Sunday night football
We
parlay.
missed by one leg each.
One leg each. Crazy. So starting off, let's do the 2-minute drill first. So we had Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. We had Isaiah Pacheco under 31.5 rushing yards. That hit. The Jalen Hurts touchdown hit. Dak Prescott over 1.5 passing touchdowns. That hit. And then Breece Hall, 50-plus rushing yards. He got 29. We were one short. It was 10 for 77. It was plus 778. That's a bad beat. It's a bad beat right there. And then our Sunday night football parlay, again, one leg. We had J.J. McCarthy, 50-plus rushing yards. Hit that, thanks to Mike. We had Jordan Mason, under 58.5 rushing yards. We hit that. He had 30-something, I believe.
And that was thanks to you. That was your pick.
That was my pick. We had Bijan Robinson, 25-plus receiving yards. That's you. Smashed it. I love it. Actually, I think he got 25 exactly.
I think he had 25, which counts.
Yeah, it counts. And my pick, Michael Penix Jr., I took him at the over 225.5. He got the under. He had 135. So bad beats on both sides.
But we're close. As long as you know we are close.
No, it's not good enough.
We're close.
Were the Giants Were the Giants close?
No, well, that's different.
Yes, they were.
That's completely
Did they win?
different. That's completely different.
Did I lose money this weekend?
I lost money. I haven't had this bad of a Sunday in a really long time. It has been a while since I had this bad of a Sunday.
That's the crazy thing. A lot of touchdowns were scored this weekend, but from random dudes. And
I didn't have any.
I saw well, like Matt Collins scored. Diami Brown scored. Tyquan Thornton, the Chiefs guy, he scored.
A Washington guy on Baltimore scored. DeAndre Hopkins scored again.
He scored twice, I think. DeAndre.
What are we doing? What are we
no, the first one wasn't a touchdown. It's insane. So, like, Lions scored 52 points, or I think, something like that, 50 plus. Good for them. But, like, you know, Amon-Ra scored, David Montgomery scored, and Jahmyr Gibbs scored. So if you chose any one of those three, that's awesome. But every other game, also, like, in that game, I think Brock Wright scored. Brock Wright was only relevant when Sam Laporta was injured. So an insane game or an insane week from players that you just wouldn't expect.
Never expected it. Got to try those touchdown legs. Those random.
No, I'm not going to put an Isaac Tesla touchdown next week. Like, that's not happening.
With Brock Wright in it, that's what you have to do. You have to get Brock Wright in there.
So stupid.
I don't really have much to say on this Sunday night game other than that we missed the parlay by one leg and it was an awful, awful football game. So I think I'm good here, and we'll move on to the Monday night football.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I mean, the only thing I have to say is, like, Falcons defense got better, and they showed J.J. McCarthy, you know, had a good second half, and then sucked this game.
I'm still a JJ guy. I'm still a JJ believer.
You're still on JJ.
I'm still on JJ and the Vikings. That Atlanta defense is very good. They get after the quarterback. They're good on the back end. I think Atlanta is totally going to the playoffs. They were really good last night defensively. And offensively, they're just going to continue to get better. It wasn't a great night last night, especially in the passing game, but they will get better and they will be in the playoffs. But I was impressed. I came away very impressed with Atlanta. Very impressed.
And they started using Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts got going, which is good. A little by little. But that helps a lot. And that defense is good, dude. They upped their pass rush game a lot, their D line a lot.
They drafted two guys in the first round. They traded back in with the Rams, gave them a future first round pick to draft another pass rusher in this draft.
Yeah, good for them. They're making moves for it, and they're doing what's right. Also, I like Raheem Morris. Pretty good good guy over there.
Yeah, he might be. He might be a head coach over there. That's for sure. He might be a good head coach. Yeah. Tonight's game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Houston, and then the Chargers in LV take on the Las Vegas Raiders. LV, LA. See what I did there? Almost said LA.
That's cool.
We'll start with the Texans and the Buccaneers. I like the Texans. I think the spread is very weird. And when I look at a spread and say, I don't really understand this, I usually go with the team that doesn't make much sense. So I will take the Texans minus the 2.5 tonight. Baker coming off the big division win, where they didn't really play well and the game was almost handed to them. They'll go on the road, face a really tough Texans defense. I think this game goes under, and I think the Texans, win this game close. They're going to need it for the division as well.
Yeah, Bucks. It's plus 2.5, right? The Bucks are plus 2.5.
Plus 2.5.
Yeah, I like Bucks plus 2.5. I didn't love their game last week. They shouldn't have won it. With that being said, Tristan Wirfs is out again. Chris Godwin's out again. So Tristan Wirfs is a huge loss for them. Dude, this Texans defense is good, and they were good last year too. Their roster is stacked. They had a great draft with their defense this year and last year as well. But I don't think their offense has it in place yet. They got a couple receivers out. They got a couple banged up O-linemen. If their defense can keep them in the game, good for them. Maybe they'll win the game. But 2.5, I don't know if I like that enough. I'll take the Bucks 2.5. Yeah.
You and JM on the same side. The Bucks are a lock tonight. I don't see it. I don't see it with the Bucks. I can't. Again, it's when the spread doesn't make sense to me. When I look at it and say this is strange, I go the opposite of what I usually think. So we'll take the Texans. And then
that's
finally,
smart, but I'm not all smart that time, Mike.
I'm going to outsmart myself. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to outsmart myself.
Working too hard, bud. Working too hard.
The final game, Monday night doubleheader on ESPN. We have the Chargers and the Raiders. I love the Raiders getting 3.5 at home. I think they're going to have a chance to win this game. I think they will win the game. I'm going to take the Raiders plus the 3.5.
Okay, I'll go Chargers minus 3.5 just to play devil's advocate. I like the Chargers, dude. If Herbert can pass the ball around the field like he was against the Chiefs in Brazil, that's amazing. They also Chargers played Friday last week, and they're playing Monday this week. A lot of extra rest, a lot of extra preparation. I like the Chargers a lot in this game. If you want to move over to the picks, let's just do it. I have 2 picks for tonight, one in each game. For a parlay.
You want to make a Monday night parlay?
We could do a little picks. I'll just throw some picks in there. Which one you already hinted to. The under in the Bucks-Texans game is a lock, 42.5. That's low. I really like that under, though. I don't think it's going to go over at all. Might not even go over 30 points.
I might be on it now.
And then, I know everybody loves Ashton Genty, but, dude, under 68.5 is a lock, too, in that game. Chargers defense is great. I don't know if they'll be running the ball that much, the Raiders, especially with Geno Smith. We saw him pass the ball last week. That's his thing, though. That's the Raiders' thing now because he's their quarterback. Also, he hit 38 yards last week on 19 carries against a terrible Pats defense. So I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I like Ashton Genty, but the under 68.5, that's a lock. I like that as a lock.
Geno in that first game was really good. It's the Geno hype is real. And I went off of it for a little bit. I didn't think Geno was the best. Geno can play, and he works here. He does. Jacoby Myers had a big week 1. Brock Bowers, I don't know if he's playing or not tonight, but if he does play, I really love him. If he doesn't play, maybe I'll back off a little bit, although Michael Mayer had a big game in the same game, in the first game against the Patriots. I just said game a lot. Michael Mayer had a big game, a lot of snaps as well. So I will take the Raiders still. And that's going to do it for our Beat the Odds Week 2 betting recap. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back Thursday with our Week 2 picks and much more throughout the week, NFL and baseball. We do a live Burrows tomorrow, Kevin and I. Back in the swing of things with baseball as the Mets take on the Padres after an 8-game losing streak. And the Yankees are... Where
Twins.
Are the Yankees?
I believe Minnesota.
Oh, okay. They're playing their littlest brother that they possibly can late in the year.
Littlest,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yes. Okay, awesome. All right. We'll talk to you guys later in the week.